What's going on, y'all, and welcome on in. You probably just watched my ReZero first take impressions on their skills, their kits for Rem, Ram, and Amelia. Now let's go ahead and cover the rest of the August 4th patch preview, because there's a lot of other stuff we need to talk about, guys. In this video, let's look at the new area right here. Let's look at all the 3-star heroes. We're gonna go through them very briefly because there's so many of them, and they're also just 3 stars, so I won't go as in depth as the ReZero stuff, but we'll cover it real fast. And then let's talk about the new ML unit, ML Charles, as well as the exclusive equipments. Okay, so just a patch preview, Car's thoughts, first takes, things like that. So let's go ahead and start the video. All right, guys, so we're getting North Wintenburg. By far, Wintenburg is my favorite area. I love the dragons. I love Luna, Senya, all of them. And this free gear we're going to get, this Destruction Conqueror's Horn Helm, is very nice, actually. Very good PvE helmet. Maybe on some PvP units, but for the most part, can be good in a lot of areas. Let's just try to dodge health. If we hit a lot of attack, crit chance, crit damage, it's going to be a really, really nice destruction set. You can combine it with the Nixseed Labyrinth set or the Arena Destruction set, if in case you haven't farmed a lot of Banshee. But yeah, very good helmet overall. Moving on, guys, one of the things I was most hyped for in this entire stream was the new 3-star heroes. Look at these lovely ladies, y'all. Oh my god, they look cool. Tell me, first off, which one is your favorite, guys? You know I'm going to ask you already. Car's favorites, though, are definitely Camille and Penelope, for big reasons. The rest, though, look great. Some of them have cool kits, and as you can notice, since they're from Wintenburg, some of them are Dragon Knights, some of them are like half dragons. But yeah, I just love that sort of lore from these characters, and obviously they look really good. So there's going to be one of each element, I believe, and let's cover them very briefly, very fast. So first up, we got Melanie. I believe Mashi said this was his favorite. She's a fire warrior with a stun chance on skill 1, soul burn, effect chance increases and always crits. Skill 2, 25% chance to increase damage suffered by 50%, so kind of like Chaos Inquisitor, or sort of similar to Tempest Urn. It just has a chance only to proc it, though. When more than one damage reduction affects the grant only the strongest, and at the end of the turn, increases combat awareness of the caster. Okay, not a great skill, but of course, guys, these are all 3 stars, so my take, I don't think any of them will be fully meta for like RTA, but some of them do have crazy kits you'll see soon that I could see people using very often in PvE content, or maybe like Arena offense, Guild War offense, things like that. But yeah, let's keep going. Melanie's skill 3. I'll blow you up. Attacks all enemies. So AoE attack, decreases speed, and inflicts stigma for 2 turns, which I don't know if they should use that word because we have stigma as a resource. Anyways, always crits, decreases speed, and New was saying this might be a typo. Decreases amount recovered in combat readiness decreased by 50%. We'll see what they mean by that. But overall, Melanie looks okay. She looks okay. Definitely not my favorite. Next up, this is one of my favorites, though. This is Camille, and she's a light warrior with a speed imprint, guys. So it could be huge. Not a high base speed imprint, but still very nice. And she has crit chance self imprint, so also very, very good, especially for 3-star. Very nice imprint, and she looks amazing. Her sprite, though, which I'll show you guys later, I don't like as much. I think they missed the mark a little bit on it, but she's only a 3-star, so we can't ask for too much. Skill 1 has a chance to decrease defense for 2 turns, which is really nice. I believe it's 50% chance. 5, 10, 50. Yeah, 50% chance. And then can also be increased to 100 with soul burn for 2 turns, which is good. And then when the caster is granted increased attack, so if she has attack up, she triggers a dual attack. And I believe we'll see here in a sec, she gives herself attack up. So she can do the Adventure Raw's defense break into dual attack from the highest attack ally, which is very nice. Very, very nice for a 3-star for sure. And light element is good. No chance to miss. Her skill 2 tactical maneuver, 5-turn cooldown, but grants her skill nullifier and increase attack for 2 turns before increased attack of the ally, except for the caster. So she'll also, the one she brings with a dual attack will also get attack up. And then she also gets combat readiness increased by 50%. So overall, her skill set, compared to like the one we just looked at, is very, very stacked. I could see Camilla definitely being used somewhere, guys. Very, very nice skill set overall. And we haven't gotten to the skill 3 yet. Attacks him anyway, and when the enemy is defeated, recovers the caster to max health, which is okay. We'll see how much damage she can do, how her multipliers are. She may have trouble landing a kill as a 3-star, but damage dealt increases proportional to the target's lost health. That'll help with that. The less health they have, the more damage she'll do. Easier to execute, and when the skill's available, decreases damage suffered by 30% when attacked. So she has inherent 30% damage reduction. With more than 1 damage, of course. Okay. Yeah, very, very nice. Skill 3 has a passive 30% damage until she uses it, because we're going to want to lead with skill 2. And sometimes we want to go into skill 1, and then we use this as a finisher. We just leave it up as for long as possible. In fact, she's a warrior. Maybe she has a little bit of bulk, and 30% damage reduction or damage suffered is really, really nice. So I'll definitely be building her up if I get her through Moonlight Summons, of course. But yeah, looking really good. She looks great too. Let me just show you all the sprite real fast though. Guys, let me know in the comments below what you think. Her artwork looks amazing, but I think the sprite looks kind of bad. And also, guys, listen to the voice. Not my favorite.
Constantly seeing recycled kits.
Let's go past News voice real fast. I don't want to hear News voice.
Experimenting.
Tired of with attack buff.
Come on, let's hear her voice.
So, playing with fire here.
Okay, well, I don't want to take too long, but guys, her voice is kind of it's very, very deep, which makes sense. She's more mature. She's like the leader of the knights, but it's a little bit. It's not my favorite. All right, next up we got the Earth Knight Christy, 3-star, half dragon again. Like she has the horns, kind of cool. Skill 1, so she's a knight. She 50% chance to provoke, scaling, HP scaling, pretty basic. Sorry, I passed the skill 2 here. It's kind of hard to see. Jeez. Oath Shield, 10% chance to counterattack at the start of the battle. Increases effect resistance with allying the back row by 50%. That's very cool. So she has a T Crozet sort of ability that straight up gives them 50% effect resist. And the rate of this effect does not change after it's activated. It's dispelled only when the ally in the back row is defeated. When the caster is in the back row, the effect is not. So she gives 50% attack up at the start of the game, and until that unit dies, it stays there. It can never be removed, even if she dies, apparently, as long as the unit doesn't die. 50% increased effect resist. Could have some applications, boys. Could be cool. But 50% chance to counterattack when attacked. So it seems alright. Has a chance to provoke. And then the skill 3, Hymn of Courage. AoE attack up, which is nice, and then increases the defense of the caster and recovers health. Christy could have some uses as a really nice support knight. The ER 50%, maybe on a unit like Martial Artist Ken, guys. Could be pretty cool. Also provides defense up. You slap Warriors on her, she'll provide good protection as well. Just be wary of her low stat line. Just like all of these. Next up, guys, this is another one of my favorites. I think this will be all y'all's favorites. We'll have to find out soon. New was hinting at that she may not be the same one we see in the story. I'll go and put a picture up if you don't know what I'm talking about. But in the episode 3, we see another Penelope, like a merchant Penelope. And this one, they look similar. The hair's the same. The face is the same, kind of. But this one looks like a thief with a sword, and the other one looks very different. Anyways, she looks amazingly. She just looks amazing. I have to say, she looks better than some 5 stars. But just like Camilla, crit chance, imprint, self-imprint, which is very, very good. So she's a thief. Let's go and look at her kit. Skill 1. Attack 70 before increasing attack of the caster by 15%. So she has a scaling attack up, as you can see, up to 75%. Oh, no, sorry. Combat rating is up to 75%, but her attack can also stack up 3 times to 45%. So a really cool if she hits a lot of it, if she hits a lot. So with like Dust Devil or RNL, Rihanna Lucella, she can stack that attack up very, very quickly. Think of also like Landy, and then she gets an insane CR readiness push when she gets a kill. Very nice skill. Skill 2, Preliminary Plans. 4-turn cooldown. Gives a barrier, decreases debuff duration of all allies. So he has kind of a mini cleanse. And also grants an extra turn while giving yourself a barrier, which will help her survive 3 turns. It also scales proportional to her attack. So this is actually really nice. She starts with a skill 2. She can remove some debuffs, annoying debuffs like hit chance or something that might be affecting your team. Defense breaks. And then she gives herself a barrier, and then she can go into either skill 1 or skill 3. And let's look at skill 3 real fast. Oops. Disarm. It has a new ability called Resource Reduction. It inflicts resource reduction on the target by 100% before attacking them, and that decreases fighting spirit and focus. This is huge, guys. I'm assuming this will go on more characters in the future, but the fact that she does it for both fighting spirit and focus is kind of crazy, and it ignores effect resist whether or not the attack hits, which is really, really crazy. It also has a 100% chance after skill enhancements to decrease attack for 2 turns, and 100% chance to stun for 1 turn, and then she gets stealth. So Penelope, just like Camilla, as long as a 3-star stat line doesn't hold her back too much, she also has a very, very nice kit. I plan to use her a lot. Hopefully, if I get her, she seems very, very fun. Very stacked kit with a new sort of skill. Very, very nice. Good job on the design. And I I think her sprite also looks pretty good compared to like Camilla's. It looks pretty good. The pose looks a little weird, but overall looks great. All right, last but not least, guys, we have Helen, a crybaby apprentice. She's the last but not least, so she's a crybaby. This one I actually think has kind of cool skills. Skill 1, random combat readiness, except for the caster, 10%, and it has defense scaling. Okay, so we want to build a lot of defense on her, like Fighter Maya, or design her a little bit. This is the skill 3. I'll go to the passive in a second, but I skipped to the skill 3. Sword of Grace, counterattack stance for 3 turns like Senya, and grants increased speed and a barrier to all allies. So that's really cool. Increased speed for the entire team and barrier for 2 turns. It won't give it to her, but she gets counter stance and scales the defense. And anytime, like Last Rider Crouch, she gets hit by an AoE move, attack that hits all targets, that skill cooldown will get reduced. So if you bring her versus like Seaside Bologna's or anything that chucks out a lot of AoE attacks, I could see her getting a ton of value and just constantly providing some barriers, increased speed. She could be a cool unit to use if you really like her. I could see her being used somewhere. Let me find the passive real fast. Wild Swing. Or sorry, not a passive. It's just her skill 2. Attacks the enemy before increasing defense. So she gets herself a self-defense buff. And it also recovers health with defense scaling and then health scaling for the heal. Okay. Overall, probably the least exciting kit. But I think the AoE speed up. She also looks pretty cool. She looks good. Could be useful. So overall, those are the 3 stars, guys. Let's go ahead and cover the exclusive equipment and Charles real fast. Okay, guys, moving on. Next up, let's see what they cover in the video. We got exclusive equipments next up. And starting with Shu, which, interesting enough, gives 5 to 10 speed as her imprint. Never a bad thing. Extra speed will always be nice, and maybe that'll let us build some other stats, or just it'll make her a little bit faster. Chop skill 1. When a critical hit is made with Chop, has a 40% chance to activate Fush, which is her skill 2. Now, guys, I think this is pretty insane. Think of like Charles' skill 1. I believe his is also what? I think it's 30, 40, something like that. 35% chance to get the smash. She'll activate Fush, and just like Charles, if we put her on a counter set, we can see a lot of skill 1s and a skill 2s just activating. That's a lot more damage. But Fush, I believe, is a little bit less impactful than Charles' skill 2. Still a very nice. Very, very nice addition. Big power increase if we choose to use the Chop. Fush, skill 2, damage L is increased by 20%. Not a bad one, because a lot of times we will be trying to activate the Fush to get the kill secure on like a Ravi, maybe a Carrot. Shu right now, although her kit looks nice, she's not being used too much because the fire units still sort of just outpace her, and just she's not a great counter even where she should be working. But hopefully this exclusive equipment will help her out in that regard. And skill 3, help me comma cream. They made sure to emphasize that on the stream, guys, not just help me cream. Grants immunity to all allies for 2 turns, which is really nice because originally she only gives herself the immunity. So overall, a very, very nice exclusive equipment. I think she was already close enough to being very, very good, just slightly missing the mark. And I think now, either with the, in my opinion, the first EE or the last one, she could be used much more often, maybe even meta, possibly. We'll see. I have one built though. I actually like Shu as a bruiser unit. Next up, guys, we have who the heck asked for a Fat Cat Assassin Cartusia exclusive equipment, guys? The effectiveness 8 to 16%. It's okay. He has a defense break and a stun, so that never hurts. It would have been nicer to be like health or defense, in my opinion, or speed even, but yeah, it's okay. The first two things that it buffs though are for his skill 2, the passive dodge chance for his team, and they're both kind of crazy. The first one will just increase evasion by another 5%, and I believe that will work for the teammates as well. Or the other option, the middle option, is combat readiness increased by 10% after successfully evading. So I think that one's probably gonna be the best overall. Fat Cat has a guaranteed dodge, so whenever he, you know, after he gets hit, or after he takes a turn, he's gonna be dodging for sure, no matter what. And it's just a lot of extra CR. He was already annoying. He's kind of, guys, believe it or not, he's actually coming more into prominence. He's becoming more and more meta, I think, as the game progresses. He's coming back where he was never used before, and I think this will definitely put him more in the spotlight. Skill 3, Sudden Assault, decreases skill cooldown of Sudden Assault by 1 turn. That one I don't think should ever be used. It should be one or the other for the skill 2 Battle Frenzy, because that's really the money maker. We'll see. You might see more Fat Cats, guys. Be ready for them. Gonna be very annoying in RTA and arena defenses, things like that. The third one, guys, we have Kitty Clarissa. This one's pretty cool. Effect resistance is always nice on her. We want to stack a lot of effect resist, even for PvE, for Kitty Clarissa. And I think she's very, very good, guys, if you need a unit for Holo Trials, or can be used as a PvP cleanser as well. So if you're lucky enough to grab her from Moonlight Summon or something, she's going to be even easier to build. Getaway Meow, skill 1, recovers healthy ally with the highest attack. So kind of just like a Celestine, but it'll scale off her max health. Skill 2, 80% chance to restrict the target for 2 turns. Kind of cool, I guess. And the last one is decreases combat readiness of the target by 20% after using Meow I'm Angry. I think the best thing about this is just getting more. 16% ER is very, very nice in Kitty Clarissa because it is kind of hard to push her like 200 plus effect resist while maintaining other stats. And then you can just pick whichever. I think for PvE, the skill 1 is going to be really nice to get some extra heals. Always a good thing. Help out your healer. Otherwise, if we're using it in PvP, I think skill 2 or 3 could be pretty good. Or sorry, not skill 2, the skill 2 for the both of these options, all right? Alrighty, guys, so JKise was the skin. Smilegate, listen up. Chat, let me know, or YouTube comments, let me know if you agree. Does JKise need a buff? She's very underused. She's one of my favorite design-wise, obviously, guys. You know Car by now. But I feel like her play rate has gone down big time because just better cleavers nowadays. I did lose like a super fast, high effectiveness JKise, so don't get me wrong. She can still be used to great extent. But overall, I do think she's, you know, her original design, her skill set, excuse me, could use a little bit of sprucing up. By the way, guys, look at these frames. They look really nice. This is the Legend frame, and this is the Emperor frame, which Car's going to go for. They're very similar. They both look amazing. Even the Champion one looks pretty good here. And I believe this is Challenger and then Master. Overall, nice. Very, very nice frames this season compared to last, in my opinion. All right, guys, the summon rate up are Lilibet and... Did I skip it? I believe it's Luluka. For some reason they're not showing here, but I believe they said Lilibet and someone. It might be Luluka. I'll double check for you guys and update in the comments if it's wrong. But first off, just skip Lilibet, y'all. Even if you like her, just make sure you get the collab units first. And then Samurai Seria was hinted at again, pretty much confirmed. So please just skip Lilibet. You do not need her by any means, okay? Get the limited units first. All right, guys. After that, let's go ahead and look at Closer Charles. Very cool skill 3. It looks good, right? Very Metal Gear-esque. Any Metal Gear fans probably will want to pull for him. Let's go ahead and talk about his kit, though. His kit's very interesting. They're going to talk about a story here, but we'll skip through that, guys. If the videos are up on YouTube, so if you want to read more on the art and the background, go ahead and check that video out. But let's go ahead and look at his stat line. So he is a Scorpio Thief with crit chance self-imprint. Very good. Team-wide effectiveness imprint. That's whatever. The fact that he's a thief, though, is interesting, guys, right? Because his original form, the green one, is a knight. So we went a big difference. All right. Is this the first skill they're showing us? Yes, it is. Closer Charles. So Closer. Kind of a weird title. After an ally attack, except for the caster attacks, if the enemy's health is less than 30%, increases combat readiness by 5, 8, 11, 50%, and then grants Perception, which is Green Violet's new skill, new passive also. Can only be activated once per 2 turns. He'll get another crit chance. So if you have the imprint plus crit chance up, going to be huge, and then 15% crit damage as well. 50% combat readiness if after an ally attacks if the enemy's health is less than 30%. So kind of cool. Not really crazy by any means, but Perception is just really good, and I guess the combat readiness push could be huge. Just going to look at the application real fast. Cigarettes popping off here. ML Ken's going to lower this guy below 30%, and as you saw, he got a big CR push, right? Okay. Skill 3, Descent. That's the one we saw, the skill animation at the beginning, so we don't have to look at it again. It's an AoE attack that increases attack, so he has attack up for all allies before increasing combat readiness by 20%. The fact that he's a thief and he has a lot of combat readiness push. He also had 113 speed base. I think we're going to want to run him in obviously a way more aggressive comp, possibly even like a cleave comp. And then he also increases evasion of the caster for 3 turns, which is never my favorite, guys. It's okay, but as you all know, if he just doesn't dodge, if you get unlucky, he's just going to die, so... We'll have to see. Not my favorite sort of mitigation, but I think for a thief, it's very fitting. AoE attack up, another combat readiness push, and hopefully the damage looks good, right? 4-turn cooldown after Molagora. All right, let's go ahead and look at his skill 1 real quick. It went too far. Elimination, sharply cuts the enemy when used on the caster's turn, so not during counters or anything like that. If the caster is granted perception from his skill 2, it uses demolition instead of elimination. Demolition is, it has lost target health scaling, right? So the less health they have, the more damage it'll do. And when the enemy is defeated, it decreases cooldown to descent his skill 3 by 1 turn. This attack does not trigger a dual attack. Okay, guys, so it's kind of a cool, think of like Ilinov. It can proc between 2 different skills. Demolition will have more damage, of course, because it'll just straight up give more damage when the target's missing health. So that, along with his skill 2, giving him the combat readiness push when units are 30%, he's going to be a good closer, just like his name sort of implies. A good eliminator, a good executor. When the lower units he gets a lot of bonuses, and he can finish them off with ease, while also providing AoE attack up. So we're going to want to run him in a very, very aggressive comp, right? But overall, I think people that like the look, the aesthetic, that sort of solid snake kind of style, he looks great. I think he looks great. But overall, if you want Car's opinion, I personally will wait. I probably won't pull for him off the bat, because unfortunately I don't have a very good cleave setup. So if you're not a cleaver, guys, if you don't play super aggressive, meaning have very, very tailored gear, high speed gear, high offense gear, you may have difficulty running him, because his only mitigation, no stealth, anything like that, is just evasion, which, as we all know, could be kind of hard or easy to deal with if you just are unlucky. So overall, I think he's going to be very fun to use. I think he's high momentum, very high damage, good at eliminating targets, and his skills look really, really great. So definitely more exciting than like mediocre Queric, but we'll have to see how good he is with the multipliers, of course. I'm sure y'all are sick of me hearing, or sick of hearing that, period. But yeah, we'll have to see overall how he is. First glance, looks very exciting, very high damage. I think a lot of people will pull for him, okay? Overall, guys, I think that is about it. Does that wrap it up? He comes along with side Tempest Turn, so that could be an extra incentive, boys. And then, of course, last but not least, we have the Samurai Seria. Man, please give us the Clarissa skin, right, guys? And this is Alexa, if you didn't know. Give us both of these skins. Samurai Seria will be coming soon, so please, if you pull Amelia or Rem early, remember, guys, save those extra bookmarks if you're free to play for Samurai Seria. She looks amazing. That's probably coming right after the collab event, so it'll be called Autumn Iceria or Fall Iceria at this rate. Anyways, guys, that wraps up the patch preview. A lot of good content coming. Thank you, as always, for watching the videos. I got a lot more content coming out for y'all. Sorry I took a short break while we waited for the collab stuff, but thank you, as always, guys. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.